Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Special Center for Tamil Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, it's my honor to welcome you all to the Mahakavi Bharathiyar's birthday and Indian Languages Day celebration 2024. Let's begin the program with Tamil Thai Valthu. I request you all to stand by. Thank you all. Now, I would like to invite Professor R. Thamotharan Aravendan, Chairperson, Special Center for Tamil Studies, to deliver welcome address.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். நண்பர்களே, நாம் முதலில் நம்மை அறிந்து கொள்வது என்பதே வாழ்க்கையில் மிகப்பெரிய போராட்டமாக இருக்கின்றது. அடுத்து நம்முடைய நண்பரை புரிந்து கொள்வது, அறிந்து கொள்வது என்பது அதைவிட மிகப்பெரிய போராட்டம். அதைவிட மிக முக்கியமான போராட்டம் நம்முடைய சூழலையும் நண்பருடைய சூழலையும் புரிந்து கொள்வது. யார் ஒருவர் தன்னை புரிந்து கொள்கிறாரோ, யார் ஒருவர் தன்னுடைய நண்பரை புரிந்து கொள்கிறாரோ, யார் ஒருவர் தன் நண்பருடைய சூழலை புரிந்து கொள்கிறாரோ அவர்தான் தலைமை ஏற்க முடியும். அதனுடைய அடையாளங்கள் தான் நம்முடைய மாண்புமை துணைவேந்தர் அவர்களும் இன்றைய சிறப்பு விருந்தினர் அவர்களும். அதனால்தான் அவர் 17-18 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு மேலாக நாடாளுமன்றத்தில் இன்னும் கோல் வச்சு கொண்டிருக்கிறார். அவருடைய இணையதளத்தில் பார்த்தீர்கள் என்றால் 100 விழுக்காடு பல முறை அவர் நாடாளுமன்றத்தில் பங்காற்றி இருக்கின்றார். புறக்கணிக்கப்பட்டே வந்தவன் என்னை உச்சத்தில் நிறுத்தி பார்க்கின்ற தாய். மீண்டும் மீண்டும் சொல்கிறேன், என்னை அடிக்கும் போதெல்லாம் என் கண் கலங்கவே சிரிச்சு போடாண்டு. ஆனால் என்னுடைய தாயாக என்னை அறிந்து கொண்டு உச்சத்தில் நிறுத்துகின்றார். அவங்க கவலையே விட மாட்டாங்க. இதுதான் அவருடைய ஆளுமை, அடுத்தவர்களை புரிந்து கொள்கிற ஆளுமை. இங்குதான் பாரதிக்கு வர வேண்டும். இவர்கள் பாரதியினுடைய பரம்பரையை சேர்ந்தவர்கள். ஏன் மற்ற கவிஞர்கள் இருந்து நாம் பாரதியை வேறுபடுத்தி பார்க்கிறோம் என்றால், பாரதி தன்னுடைய பிறப்பு சூழலிலிருந்து வேறுபட்டு வந்தவர். தமிழை நீஷ பாஷை என்று சொன்ன சூழலில் இருந்து இல்லை, உலகினிலேயே மிகச்சிறந்த மொழி தமிழ் என்று சொன்ன புலவன். நாட் ஓன்லி poet, இவர் ஒரு சமூக சீர்திருத்தவாதி, சோசியல் ரிஃபார்மர். பெண் விடுதலை பற்றி முதல்ல பேசினவர், தன்னுடைய வீட்டில் அதை நடைமுறைப்படுத்தியவர். அதே போன்று சாதி ஒழிப்பை பற்றி பேசியவர். நாட்டு விடுதலை மட்டும் அவர் பேசவில்லை, அதை மட்டும் அவர் பேசியிருந்தால் அவர் சாதாரண கவிஞராக போயிருப்பார். பெண் விடுதலையை பேசியதாலும் ஜாதி ஒழிப்பை பேசியாலும் வெளிப்படையா சொல்றாரு. கம்பனை போல் இளங்காவை போல் யான் கண்டதில்லை. அவர் என்ன போல தமிழ் மொழி மட்டும் தெரிஞ்சவர் அல்ல, அவருக்கு சான்ஸ்கிரிட் நல்லா தெரியும், பிரெஞ்சு நல்லா தெரியும், ஆங்கிலம் நல்லா தெரியும். இத்தனை மொழி தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இத்தனை மொழி இலக்கியத்தையும் படிச்சுட்டு தான் சொல்றார். காரணம், அடுத்தவர்களை நேசியுங்கள் என்று சொன்னார் பாரதி. அந்த பாரதியினுடைய வாரிசுகள் தான் இவர்கள் இருவர். நாம் மெத்த மகிழத்தக்கவர்கள். மீண்டும் ஒன்றை சொல்கிறேன், JNU முறையில் இது எனக்கு 12வது ஆண்டு. இங்கே வந்து தமிழ் தாய் வாழ்த்து பாடுவதெல்லாம் மரபே கிடையாது. அந்த சொல்றதெல்லாம் உண்டு. நான் வந்து ஒரு அகர முதல எழுத்துறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதுவும் எனக்காக சொல்லிட்டு போயிடுவார். ஒரு நாள் அம்மாவை அழைத்திருந்தோம். இதே ஒரு கூட்டத்துக்கு வந்து இங்கே வந்து இருந்த ஒரு பாட்டு தமிழ் தாய் வாழ்த்து பாடுவோமான்றாங்க. அப்புறம் அம்மா கிட்ட சொன்ன இருங்கம்மா உடனே ஏற்பாடு பண்ணுறோன்னு சொன்னோம். அவ்வளவு மாற்று. சரி, தமிழ் தாய் வாழ்த்து மட்டும் இல்லை, அசாமொழி வாழ்த்து, எல்லா மொழியும் மதிங்கள், எல்லாத்தையும் போற்றுங்கள். இதுதான் பேராசிரியருடைய அடிப்படை. அந்த வகையில் தான் இங்கு தமிழ் இருக்கை தழை தோன்றுகிறது. சுருக்கமாக ஒரு செய்தியை நான் இங்கு அனைவருக்கும் பதிவிட வேண்டியது என்ற கடமை. 2004ஆம் ஆண்டு செம்மொழி அறிவிப்புக்கு பிறகு தமிழுக்கு என்று இங்கு இருக்கை உருவாக்கப்பட்டது. அப்பொழுது நம்முடைய JNU கேட்டது, 1 ஆண்டுக்கு 10 லட்சம், 5 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு கொடுங்கள், அல்லது ஒரே முறையாக 50 லட்சம் கொடுங்கள் என்று. கலைஞர் அவர்கள் 10 லட்சம் ரூபாய் முதலில் அனுப்பினார்கள். அந்த காசோலை வந்து இங்கு செல்வதற்குள் அது காலாவதி ஆயிட்டால் பல்கலைக்கழகம் மீண்டும் அனுப்பியது, ஆட்சி மாறியது. அம்மா அவர்கள் அந்த காசோலையை அப்படியே புதுப்பித்து 10 லட்சத்தை தனியாகவும் 40 லட்சத்தை தனியாகவும் சேர்த்து 50 லட்சத்தை வழங்கினார்கள். அதனுடைய தொடர்ச்சியாகத்தான் UGCயிலிருந்து ஆசிரியர்கள்லாம் நியமனிக்க பெற்றார்கள். இவர்களை புரிந்து கொண்டு தமிழக முதலமைச்சர் அவர்கள், மாண்புமிகு முதலமைச்சர் அவர்கள் 5 கோடி ரூபாய் வழங்கியிருக்கிறார்கள். அது மிக முக்கியமான ஒரு பணி. மீண்டும் 5 கோடி அளவுக்கு கேட்டுக்கொண்டு இருக்கின்றோம். தமிழுக்கு அளித்ததால் பிற மொழிகளுக்கும் அம்மா அடுத்தடுத்து எடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கிறாங்க. அதற்கு அடுத்து இறுதியாக ஒன்றை நான் சொல்ல வேண்டிய கடமை எனக்கு இருக்கிறது. நேற்று பிரதமரை நேரடியாக அம்மா சந்திக்கின்ற சூழல் இருந்தது. பொதுவாக நான் நிறைய வைஸ் சான்சலர் பார்த்துட்டு வந்தேன். இது 3வது யூனிவர்சிட்டி எனக்கு. என்ன செய்வாங்கன்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, வைஸ் சான்சலர் 2 ஆண்டுகளில் நான் என்னென்னலாம் செய்திருக்கிறேன்றதை ஒரு ரிப்போர்ட் எடுத்துகிட்டு போய் கொடுத்துட்டு, எனக்கு இந்த எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன் வேணும், இந்த விருது வேணும், அது வேணும், இது வேணும் கேட்கறது தான் முதல்ல பொதுவாக இதுதான் செய்வாங்க. இவங்க என்ன செய்தாங்கன்னா, அவசரமாக 2 நாளாக கிடைத்த நேரத்தை பயன்படுத்தி தமிழுக்கு இவ்வளோ வேணும், உடனே எங்கள் பேராசிரியர் குமாரசாமி கூப்பிட்டு ஒரு கடிதம் தயாரிங்க, குஜராத்துக்கு இவ்வளோ வேணும், பல்கலைக்கழகத்துக்கு இவ்வளோ வேணும், எல்லாத்துக்கும் தனித்தனியாக கடிதம் எடுங்க. எல்லாத்தையும் எடுத்துகிட்டு போய் மாண்பமை பிரதமருடைய கையிலே கொடுத்தாங்க. எனக்கு கையெல்லாம் வெட்ட நடுங்குது. அவர் அழகாக அன்பாக கேட்டுட்டு, அம்மா மேலே பேரையை தெரிந்து கேட்டுட்டு அன்பாக வாங்கிட்டு போனார். அப்படியே அழகாக ஒரு குழந்தைய எடுத்துகிட்டு போவது போல் அவர் எடுத்துகிட்டு போனார். இந்த காட்சியை பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கு மிகுந்த மரியாதை அம்மா மேல் தோன்றியது. இவர் மீது அவர் எந்த அளவுக்கு மரியாதை செலுத்தியிருந்தால், எந்த அளவுக்கு அன்புடையவராக இருந்திருந்தால், இவருடைய பணியை எந்த அளவுக்கு அவர் போற்றி இருந்தால் அதை அவர் செய்திருப்பார். மாண்புமை பிரதமர் அவர் அந்த அளவுக்கு தமிழ் மொழி மீது மிகுந்த பற்றுடைய மாண்புமை துணைவேந்தர் அவர்கள் தமிழ்துறையை தனி கவனத்தோடு வளர்க்கின்றார்கள். மூத்த பேராசிரியர்கள் இங்கு பலர் வருகை தந்திருக்கின்றனர். குறிப்பாக வரலாற்றுத்துறை பேராசிரியர்கள், புல முதன்மையர்கள் வருகை தந்திருக்கிறார்கள். எங்களுக்கு இடம் கொடுத்து எங்களை அரவணைத்துக் கொண்ட புல முதன்மையர்கள் இருவருமே வருகை தந்திருக்கின்றார்கள். மிகுந்த மகிழ்ச்சிக்குரியது. அதே போன்று நாடாளுமன்ற உறுப்பினர் ஐயா அவர்கள் வருகை தந்திருக்கிறார்கள். மிகுந்த மகிழ்ச்சி. மாண்புமை துணைவேந்தர் அவர்களுடைய வருகை மிகுந்த மகிழ்ச்சிக்குரியதாக இருக்கின்றது. அதே போல பேராசிரியர் ஷோபா சிவசங்கரன் அவர்கள், மற்றொரு பிரெஞ்சு மாணவர் பேச இருக்கின்றார். பலர் இங்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கின்றீர்கள். மூத்த பேராசிரியர்கள், பத்திரிகையாளர்கள் எல்லாரும் வருகை தந்திருக்கின்றீர்கள். அனைவரையும் வருக வருக என வரவேற்பதில் மிகுந்த மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகின்றேன். மிக்க நன்றி.
Thank you, sir. It's time to felicitate our guest. I humbly request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Santhishree Pandit, to felicitate Tiruchi Siva, Honorable Member of Parliament, with shawl, University memento, and the Tolhapiam Hindi translation, which was translated under the research scheme of our center.
JNU memento. This is sir, Nehru was lotus. He was like two lamps. Nehru lotus lotus symbol. Sir, நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு செடி போடலாம். Sir, நீங்க டீ குடிக்கிறப்ப
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite our MA Tamil students to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor.
பரவாயில்ல எனக்கு கரெக்டாக தான் கொடுத்தீங்க. ஐ எம் an admirer of கண்ணகி.
I would like to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate Girirajan sir.
ஆமாம் ஆமாம்.
Member of Parliament. And Rajesh.
தம்பி மொபைல் பின்னாடி வந்து மறைக்குது.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite our senior research scholar, Mr. T.K. Tamilnadu, to felicitate Professor Shoba Sivasankaran, Dean, School of Language, Literature and Cultural Studies, JNU. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Bharathan. I would like to invite our senior research scholar, Mr. P. Kamalakannan, to felicitate Mr. Shivanshu Vishwakarma, BA French first year, SLL&CS, JNU.
Sorry, French student who is learning Tamil. He is not a Tamil, but he is learning Tamil. Lot of other language students are opting for Tamil. Very good response, sir. Very good response.
Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Shivanshu Vishwakarma, BA French first year, SLL&CS, JNU, to present a note on Mahakavi Bharathiyar. Mr. Shivanshu Vishwakarma is from Madhya Pradesh. Despite having ancestry from Tamilnadu, neither he nor his family speak Tamil. Though he has enrolled for Tamil language course at our center, driven by his love and enthusiasm for Tamil language. It is noteworthy to mention here, we have 2 non-Tamil students enrolled for learning Tamil language. I welcome Shivanshu to give brief note on Mahakavi Bharathiyar.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். It is an honor to stand before Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Tiruchi and Siva, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Santhishree Dhulipudi Pandit, the Deans, the Chairpersons, and all the professors. I am here to speak about India's one of the most iconic figure, Mahakavi Bharathiyar, a poet, a freedom fighter, and a true visionary from Tamilnadu. Let me introduce Subramaniam Bharati, or Bharatiyar as we lovingly call him, before sharing my thoughts on him. From an early age, he showed remarkable talent in poetry and a fierce sense of independence. Bharatiyar was not just a poet, he was a revolutionary whose work resonated deeply within the struggles and aspirations of his time. Bharatiyar is dedicated to breaking the chains that bound India, the chains of social inequality from the within, and the chains of colonial rule from the outside. Through his poems like Acchamalai, Acchamalai, he asked people to rise above fear. His works about nationalism and building a society based on equality and love. One of Bharatiyar's most revolutionary ideas was advocacy for women's rights. a concept ahead of its time. He dreamed of a world where women would walk with their heads held high, treated equals and educated. Nimiranda Nanadai Nerakonda Paru is a powerful line from one of Bharatiyar's iconic poems symbolizing dignity, confidence and fearlessness. His famous lines, Suddhamai Pen or the New Woman, celebrated the strength and confidence of women, inspiring generations to come forward. Bharatiyar also boldly cautioned caste discrimination. At a time when society steeped deep into rigid hierarchies, he envisioned a world where people lived as equals, where love and unity replaced hatred and division. He sang, Jadigal ille adi papa, there are no castes, my child. What I think made Bharatiyar unique was his ability to combine spiritual wisdom with fiery revolutionary zeal. He believed in oneness of humanity and divine, often expressing this in his works. Bharatiyar's connection with Lord Kannan amazed me. He saw him in many roles, a servant, a brother, a friend, and a divine force, each woven in deep intimacy in his poetry. I was astonished by how he brought Kannan to life, making him not just a deity, but a living personal presence in every verse. Despite being fluent in several languages, including Sanskrit, English, Tamil, Telugu, and French, and even Hindi, he chose Tamil as his primary medium of expression. He continued to write in it. His love for Tamil was unwavering. He continued to write in it passionately until his death, believing it to be the true vehicle for his revolutionary and spiritual ideas. Since I chose Tamil from multiple options available to me at JNU, I feel deep connection with Bharatiyar. I gain encouragement from his journey to embrace such a beautiful language. Despite his immense contribution, Bharatiyar's life was not without challenges. He faced persecution and poverty for his beliefs and writings. But even in the face of adversity, he remained steadfast, using his pen to ignite the flames of change. Sadly, his life was cut short when he passed away at a young age of 38. However, his legacy still remains eternal to this day. Today, we remember Mahakavi Bharathiyar. Let us draw inspiration from his life and works. Let us carry forward his vision of equality and a united society. Let us uphold the values he lived and died for: courage, equality, and an unyielding love for our nation. To conclude, Bharatiyar's words still resonate with us. Achha milai, achha minbadillaye. Achha malai, achha minbadillaye. Itchagat vlorela mirditta ninda podinam. Achha milai, achha minbadillaye. Thuch manga yenni nammai thorusida podina. Achha milai, achha minbadillaye. Pechi vangi yonnum valge petrovetta podina. Achha milai, achha minbadillaye. Itchi konna porlela melenda vetta podinum. Achha milai, achha minbadillaye. Uchi meedu vaanidenda veelekendra podinum. Achhamilai, achamenbadillai. May his life and words continue to inspire us to strive for a better, braver, and a more inclusive world. Anaivarakam.
Thank you, Mr. Shivanshu. Now, I would like to invite Professor Shoba Sivasankaran, Dean, School of Language, Literature and Culture Studies, JNU, to deliver Introductory Address. As her mother tongue is Tamil, she has contributed to Tamil by introducing various Tamil literature to friends through her translation. Ma'am, now the stage is yours.
Thank you. Anaivarkum Vanakkam. Honorable Tiruchi Siva, Member of Parliament, Mr. Giri Rajan, Member of Parliament, our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Santhishree Pandit, Professor Thamotharan, Chairperson, Special Center for Tamil Studies, colleagues from all centers and schools, dear students, and Subramania Bharati fans who have come from all over in his remembrance. Good afternoon to all of you. It is my pleasure and privilege to give the introductory note on Mahakavi Bharathiyar on his birthday function. Though it was yesterday, today we are celebrating it. And this also happens to be the Indian Languages Day celebration. I would like to take this opportunity to talk a little about the Special Center for Tamil Studies, which is celebrating the Indian Languages Day on Subramania Bharati's birth anniversary. Today is indeed an important day for the Centre because this is the first year that the Centre is celebrating Bharathiyar's birthday as a new and independent centre, the Special Centre for Tamil Studies. This centre was born only on March 21st, 2023. It is not even a year old. With generous financial support provided by the government of Tamilnadu. The Tamil Chair was established for the first time in 2007 and was a part of the Centre of Indian Languages, School of Language, Literature and Culture Studies. The Centre has been offering a PhD program since the beginning and has launched an MA program in Tamil this academic year. Besides this, the Centre is also offering optional courses in Tamil for non-Tamil students and also perhaps for Tamil students who are not introduced to the language. And we've seen the result of that today with Shivanshu, who is a student of my centre, Centre of French Studies, who came and spoke to all of you in Tamil. The faculty members and students research and have published an impressive number of books and research articles, including Tolkappiyam, the translation of Tolkappiyam from Tamil to Hindi. The research scholars work on comparative studies in Tamil and other Indian and foreign languages. It is in this order of things that the Special Centre for Tamil Studies is organizing this celebration of the life and works of Subramania Bharati. In a short lifespan, he has made tremendous contributions to the nation as a freedom fighter, poet, social and spiritual reformer, and a crusader for women's empowerment. His works reflect his progressive views on women's emancipation. Bharati's poetry and writings emphasize the importance of education and independence for women. He believed that women should be free from the shackles of patriarchy and have equal rights and opportunities as men. His poems, such as Kuyil Paattu and Kannan Paattu, reflect his feminist ideals and encourage women to assert their rights and challenge societal norms. Bharati's contribution to women's empowerment extends beyond his literary works. He was a vocal critic of child marriage and the caste system, and he advocated for women's participation in politics and social reform. His efforts inspired many women to take up leadership roles and fight for their rights. Today, Bharati's legacy continues to inspire women's empowerment movements in India. His poems and writings remain a testament to his commitment to social justice and women's rights. As we celebrate his contributions, we must remember the power of literature and activism to bring about positive change in society. I am confident that the event organized by the Special Centre for Tamil Studies today would go a long way in this regard. Thank you, Nandri.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I humbly request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Santhishree Pandit, to deliver the Presidential Address.
Ellarkum vanakkam. Let me, respected Tiruchi and Siva, Honorable Member of Parliament and also the Chairperson of the Standing Committee, Parliamentary Standing Committee on Industry. I thank him for accepting our invitation and coming to Jawaharlal Nehru University. Prof. Thiru Girirajan, MP Rajya Sabha, thank you sir for coming. Professor Shoba Sivasankaran, Dean of the School of Languages, Literature and Culture Studies. Then Thiru Thamotharan, Aravendan, who is the head of the department. And we also, all the other faculty who have come here, deans, students, everybody, I thank you for coming here for celebrating the oldest language of India, Tamil. Let me tell you that Tiruchi N. Siva has been representing Tamilnadu in the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of parliament. He is from the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. All of you know the great social reform movement heralded by Periyar and Thiru Annadurai and later Kalaignar Karunanidhi, who is also a great literature. The Tamil department is also celebrating the centenary of Kalaignar Karunanidhi with the Sahitya Academy this year. He completed his MA in English in Periyar EVR College, Tiruchi, and BL in Tiruchi Law College. In 1978, he was an organizer of the DMK District Students' Wing. So for JNU students also, you have a good future if you follow his footsteps. Between 1982 and 1992, he served as the Deputy Secretary of the DMK Youth Wing and later serving as the secretary of the same between 1992 and 2007. He was the propaganda secretary of the DMK. He also served as a member of the court of Jawaharlal Nehru University from September 2009 to May 2012 and vice president of the Parliamentary Forum on Artisans and Craftspeople from April 2013 to July 2013. So we welcome you back to JNU, sir. And JNU is very proud to have a member of the court like you. He was also a member of various committees of the Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha, such as the Committee on External Affairs, Committee on the Women's Reservation Bill, Committee on Subordinate Legislation, etc. On 24th April 2015, Mr. Thiru Shiva created history when he introduced a private members bill on the rights of transgender persons, Bill 2014. This is the first private members bill to be passed by any house in 36 years and by the upper house in 45 years. So we should congratulate him, and please remember, Tamilnadu has always taken the been the leader in social change and social justice. On 10 December 2019, he was awarded the Best Parliamentarian of the Year, Rajya Sabha, at the Lokmat Parliamentary Awards 2019. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu presented the award for his exemplary contribution to Rajya Sabha. He is a speaker and a writer, both in English and Tamil, has written articles in the party and the party's official organ, Murasulli, and other magazines as well. He is also written 2 books in Tamil, and as I told you, he is one of the most enlightened members from the in the Rajya Sabha, and I think both government and opposition look to him for guidance, because he has been one who has always seen reason and has acted on rationality. And once again, I thank you for coming, and let me tell you, my love for Tamil is because of my mother, who was a student of Rapi Sethu Pillai and P. Meenakshi Sundaram at Madras Palgalekazhagam, Chennai Palgalekazhagam, and she worked on Shaivism in contemporary Tamil and Telugu literature. She started her career at Annamalai University and then moved on to Russia, where she started the India Studies program, where she taught Tamil and Telugu to the students at the Leningrad University, now St. Petersburg University. Even today they use the book she has written in Russian, how to teach Tamil through Russian and how to teach Telugu through Russian. So that is one of the reasons, sir, my love for Tamil Thai is very much so. That is why I thought in a small way at least. So Adala, I am very, very happy that all of you are here, and I am happy that JNU community have come together to celebrate Tamil and Mahakavi Bharathiyar as the Indian Languages Day, because it's most appropriate that the oldest language should be celebrated for the Indian languages. I once again thank Tiruchi Shiva for coming to JNU, and also Thiru Giriraj for coming to our university. And sir, you must make more visits, and we will be very happy to hear your words of wisdom. Thank you once again. Come to JNU, which is India's topmost university. Here we bring in equity with equality and excellence, integrity with innovation. And hence JNU practices, as I always say, 10 Ds. Democracy, development, diversity, dissent, difference. Because here everybody is allowed to have their views, and we are a place where we are very democratic, we have multiple narratives, and everybody appreciates it. So this is something we have been able to do after my previous vice chancellors. We had a very polarized period. Now we are back to celebrating the way JNU celebrates all types of diversities, differences, and dissent. Once again, thank you, sir, for coming to JNU.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring and thought-provoking address. Now, let me move on to the keynote address. Before that, I would like to give a short note about our chief guest. Tiruchi Siva is a member of the Parliament of India representing Tamilnadu in the Rajya Sabha.
I have given already, you don't have to repeat. I have introduced sir already.
Thank you so much. He completed MA English in Periyar Rivera College where I studied. And one more thing, it is noteworthy to mention that he has served as a member of the core of our university, JNU, from September 2009 to May 2012. Now I cordially invite Tiruchi Siva, Honorable Member of Parliament, to deliver keynote address.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். It's really a proud privilege for me to be with you this evening. The great educational institution in India, the Jawaharlal Nehru University, that too on the occasion of the 142nd birthday of Mahakavi Bharathiyar, organized by the Special Center for Tamil Studies. President of this gathering, Honorable Vice Chairman, Professor Santhishree Dhulipudi Pandit, Professor Dr. Thamotharan, who has welcomed all of us, Mr. Shivanshu, a French boy learning Tamil here, was given an introductory note of Mahakavi Bharathiyar, and Professor Shoba Sivasankaran, the Dean of School of Language and Literature and Culture Studies, my esteemed colleague, Advocate Mr. Girirajan, and Dr. Chandrasegaran, who is to give the vote of thanks, and esteemed professors who have gathered here, and students, good evening to all of you. This meeting was to be held yesterday, and it has not been suspended. Good that it is happening today, thanks to the Vice Chancellor, who understood the situation I was in yesterday. She was also present at the Prime Minister's meeting, where he released the collection of Mahakavi Bharathiyar's poems. And I was also held up in another place. So instead of postponing the time, we felt it really much better to have it today, and it's very good. Of course, it was a very good decision, like many other decisions she is taking. This is organized by the Special Center for Tamil Studies, but also celebrating the Indian Languages Day celebration. This shows the broad-mindedness of the Tamil people. As Bharatiyar has told, Yamarinda Modigalile, Tamil Modibol, Indavadu Undrum Kanom. When he says so, it is not that he is versatile only in Tamil language. He was well read in all the Indian languages, including Sanskrit and also European languages. So he had an opportunity to compare the other languages with Tamil, and then he has praised Tamil, not degraded any other language. Tamil is the best of all, the sweetest of all. And Bharatiyar, Mahakavi Bharathiyar, Subramania Bharatiyar, called as Bharatiyar and fondly called by everyone very closely like Bharati. Like we call our gods in a singular. Many call him as Bharati. So close to the heart. I should say here at the right, it's a right moment, that some 2-3 days before, the statue of Thiru was unveiled in Germany. And that was a great occasion. And in JNU also there is a proposal to unveil the statue of Thiru. And as far as my knowledge goes, I stand corrected if anyone can say something else. beyond the boundaries of India, only two poets have reached. One is Thiruvalluvar and the other is Bharathiyar. Even in India, people know Thiruvalluvar very much, so also Bharathiyar. There are ever so many. We don't remember the kings who lived in this country, who ruled us. There are many more, many kings, emperors. We remember only a few like Karikalan because of the grand aneckad he has built. We remember or recall Rajaraja Cholan because of the Thanjavur temple, one of the art, state-of-the-art temple or architecture. And Rajendra Cholan, his son, was well known for his naval fleet, next only to the Greek. In the world, the two best naval fleet was one with Greek and another was with Chola Rajaraja. And we know Singutwa because of Ilango. So we know only the names of a few kings, but not all. Till democracy took over monarchy, hundreds of kings have ruled us across India, but how many do we remember? One who lives even after the time are only scholars, writers and poets like Thiruvalluvar and Bharathiyar. I was very glad when the Vice Chancellor referred here that we have got a special school for Assamese and we have got various languages also. When the Special Center for Tamil Studies, the proposal was mooted, we are very glad that our former leader, Dr. Kalaignar, who was then the Chief Minister, has extended 10 lakh rupees as per the request of the university, 10 lakhs each for 5 years. But soon after that, since the government changed, it couldn't continue and the successor of him, Madam Jayalalitha, has given 50 lakh. And the incumbent Chief Minister, our leader, M.K. Stalin, has come forward to give 5 crore rupees. This is a very good gesture that he has realized the importance of the Special Center for Tamil Studies in JNU. JNU is a proud institution. Even ministers now, whenever they speak, we are products of JNU. I have heard Arun Jaitley telling that, I heard Sitaram Yechury telling that, and even the now Finance Minister, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman, has also told that very frequently. We are all alumnus or alumni of JNU, they used to say, and we have felt much that we have missed the opportunity. But I had the great opportunity of being a court member for some time. And today is the first time I have come here officially. Thank you very much, ma'am, Madam Vice Chancellor, for giving me this opportunity. I feel really very proud. We go across the country, we address too many number of meetings, conferences, but only in some places we feel elated, we feel proud. One of such occasions is today in this campus that we visit. How many scholars in front of me? The students who have come from various directions flocked here in this university, which spreads to about 2,000 acres, unbelievable. No other education center has got this large an area. So you have got much more scopes. And you have invited me today on Mahakavi Bharathiyar's birthday. We are proud that we are all from also Tamilnadu, where Bharathiyar was born, where he has lived, where he has... Can you ever imagine that he passed away at the age of 39? Within that age, he has made a mark, indelible mark, that history recalls, remembers, and everyone is proud of him. There is a coincidence. I used to admire how it happened. There are some people who have lived a very short period. Vivekananda passed at the age of 39. Veerabandya Kattabomman, who was the second person in the South India who fought against the British, was hanged when he was 39. And there is one Tamil lyricist, Pattukotai Kalyan Sundaram, who lived only for 26 years, like John Keats. Keats lived only for 26 years, but he is one among the great romantic poets in English. So also Pattukotai Kalyan Sundaram has written only 246 lyrics in Tamil movies. But he surpasses any other poet who has written, any other lyricist who has written thousands of lyrics to film. So it is not how many years a person lives, it is what or how he lived and what he leaves behind. Takkar Thagavilar என்பது அவரவர் எச்சத்தால் காணப்படும் இசைத்திருக்குறள். How best is a person is known by what he has left behind after he passes away from this soil where he was born. There they live. So it is not necessary that a person should live for 100 years. Even if you 100 live, many have lived for 100 years, even they have crossed that, but nobody else. There have been richer and richest people. They have lived here, and even their own relatives might have forgotten them after sharing their properties. But Bharathiyar is still remembered. We are proud when we speak about him. He was a patriotic. He was an optimistic. He was a mystic poet. And the best of his side is that he fought for the women's rights. He was a champion of women's rights. Today I think we are celebrating the 100th centenary of Vaikam in Kerala. There was a great agitation at that time, 100 years before. That there was a street where there was a temple, and there access to the scheduled caste people were not allowed. They couldn't even walk the streets. Many raised a voice, but it couldn't succeed. Many who were from the soil fought were imprisoned. At that time, those people have approached Periyar, EVR, for your benefit I say Periyar E.V. Ramasamy, but is fondly called as Periyar like Bharathiyar. He was called by those who were aggrieved. He went there, and the then Maharaja of Travancore was a very close associate of Periyar, very close friend. He used to visit him whenever he comes to Travancore, but at that time he declined the invitation of the Maharaja and said that I come here to fight against you, against the system of your government, so I cannot accept your hospitality. So he stayed somewhere else, and he took along with him the people who were declined, who were denied access to those streets, along with his wife and his sister. And he was imprisoned. Later, it is said that in history that some yagas were performed that Periyar should die. But in turn, the Maharaja died. Later, after the Maharaja's demise, all were released and Periyar also got released. And the Maharani who succeeded him called Periyar and said, I'll give access to the scheduled caste people to walk on the streets, but don't ask for entry into the temples. He said, we can take care of it later. When our country, India, got independence, our mentor, Tandai Periyar, differed in that. He said, this is not a freedom. This is a day to lament. But at the same time, Anna, whom Madam said for your benefit, C.N. Annadurai, who was the founder of our party, he was a follower, and next to Periyar, he differed with him and wrote, no, this is a very pleasant day, sweet day that we have to celebrate. The difference between them came. Periyar told that we are getting relieved from the British clutches, but here we will be under the clutches of the North India and the upper caste. But Anna told, let us first get a freedom and then we can resolve the issues within ourselves. And that was the magnanimity and foresightedness of Anna. Like that Periyar told in Vaikam, first let the scheduled caste people be allowed in the streets, later I can see to that. And later it happened. Now that even laws are enacted that anybody can become an archaka and anybody can get into the temple. This is also why I am telling this. Like Periyar, Bharatiyar was born in Agraharam from a very orthodox family. Agraharam in those days we couldn't imagine how it would have been. He took along with him a scheduled caste boy and walked in the streets. So everybody, his relatives condemned him. Some people went to his wife and asked, has your husband become a mad person that he is bringing along? But he never bothered. So he fought for those who were sidelined, suppressed and oppressed. Not only that, every of his words came into action. Once he said, when he went out to lead a procession, he called his wife and told, if at all I am killed in the procession by the police, you have to take the lead. At that time, it couldn't be imagined. It was Bharatiyar's time, in the early 20th century, that women were not expected to have rights, right to women's property. And women were treated as second, or not even second grade. They were not at all treated as people. They were relegated to be only in the interior of the house. At that time, he told that his wife should lead the procession if at all anything happens to him. And then, that is the speciality of Bharatiyar. I can speak about his poems, I can quote or I can explain them to make you realize. But I think after this meeting, you yourself will get interest of going to Bharatiyar's poem and its translation in any language you want. It is in Hindi, it is in English and every language. Whenever guests came to his house, he asked his wife and 2 daughters to greet them. Because in those days, women were asked to stand behind the doors. In the interior room, they cannot come before the guest. But Bharatiyar told his wife and his daughters to greet them, give them water to wash their feet. That was also a customary act. Anybody who enters into anybody's house, a guest, whoever comes, or even the resident of the same house who comes, he has to wash his feet and get inside. So he asked his wife and daughters to give water to the guest and greet them. So Bharatiyar didn't preach, he also practiced. We could not imagine. Even in these days when everything has developed, we have come to the 21st century, even now there are some regressive following. Many like to follow the same, but 100 years before, he was able to implement. He passed away 100 years before, 103 years as of now. But when he lived, he has proved everything. And so to say, I think today's my concentration want to be in one focus. That's why I said I don't want to recite his poems and say that I know this and that and explain that. What happened after his life? How many know what happened? He died in a very pathetic situation. He was poor, of course. And kindly, for the benefit of the students and those who are from other areas who doesn't come into Tamilnadu, only 14 people went behind him when his body was carried to the burial ghat, the cremation ghat. Only 14, 1-4. Can anyone believe that? We know the Prime Minister is releasing Mahakavi Bharathiyar's collections. What a great occasion it is. We thank him for that because he celebrates and elevates whoever is to be served. And Madam has the privilege of being in that meeting. And across the world, wherever we go, whenever we get an opportunity to go abroad, there will be an association in the name of Bharatiyar. So now, everywhere in the world, you got associations in the name of Bharatiyar. A great university is celebrating his birthday, but when he passed away, only 14 people were behind him. This we have to learn in life. How a person was respected and regarded and recognized during his lifetime, and how can they reach to heights after their lifetime by way of their living and their achievements. And Chelama, his wife, I love to pronounce her name because she was a great lady. She learned to live with his habits, with his behaviors. He never bothered that there was no food to eat at home. Whatever grains she has saved for the children, he would spill it to the crows and any birds that come to his house. He will be just singing, he will be composing poems. She never bothered. She used to cry inside, but she won't. Just, I think, nothing out of place. My wife is no more. 10 years before she passed away. And I have written an article soon after her demise in Tamil, later translated into English, now also in Hindi, confessing that what all I have failed to do. I lived for my party, I lived for the people, I dedicated my life for public life. I never bothered what her intentions were, what her expectations were. And never I have appreciated her that you have cooperated with me. That's the major thing. That's the title of my article is Speak to Your Wife. Just say, this is because of you. So many occasions she has proved to be a very good partner for a person who is in full-time politics, who doesn't care much, not that I am an irresponsible person, but I didn't mind or think that they expect some words. After this meeting is over, when I go back to my home, I'll ask Giri, I'll ask my PS, I'll ask my lamb, how was the meeting? How was my speech? I know well what I have spoken. I know through your reception. Why should I ask them? That is expectation. So also we think the women at home, they know everything. They prepare something and serve us. They wait at midnight and give us something hot. Or they stay behind us to press our legs, something. But have you ever told that, thank you very much? I fall in the same category of Bharathiyar, in that respect. I am not as great a person as him, but in this category I am also an ordinary man. But I repented and I wrote that not any other fellow man follow my path. Please, at least now start speaking to your wife. And it had a very great impact. It went across, very viral in social media and also in print media, something like that. So as long as he lived, he never bothered the economical, financial conditions of the family, but she managed to run the family with 2 daughters. They got married when she was 7 and Bharathiyar was 15. Those days child marriage was not prohibited. And she became a widow when she was 29 or 30. He passed away at 39. Again I recall when my father passed away, my mother's age was 29. The only difference between Chellamma and my mother Dhanabhagyam is that as soon as Bharathiyar passed away, Chellamma's head was tattooed. Her blouse was removed at the age of 30. A young woman, just because she lost her husband, customary habits, removed her hair and also her blouse. But when my mother became a widow, the Dravidian movement has emerged and they fought for it, and she was, of course, saved from removing the jacket. In our community, we don't tonsure our head, but only the blouse will be removed, but she didn't, because of the resistance of those who were in my family who were associated with the Dravidian movement. But at that time, nobody was there. Chellamma became something, she cannot walk out. But she just jumped back in 1 year. Kindly thank her. But for her, we would not have the poems of Bharathiyar in our hand now. She compiled all his poems, whatever he has written in hand, whatever he has put here and there. I used to write, but I just throw it here and there. If you come to my house, even in those days, even now, my cot will be spilled with papers or some books. Nobody will dare to touch it because I'll ask them why did you test it, because I'll be keeping it in some order. And writers, for example, even Anna, they used to say, you will write and throw, and some others have to read the page and put the numbers. And likewise, Bharathiyar has written a lot, but has left them. She compiled everything. And the first biography of Bharathiyar was written by Chala. She was not educated. She didn't have formal education. She dictated and her daughter used to write. Now again I thank the women community. Because of these three girls, the world knows who is Bharathiyar. I bow my head. The Tiruchi Siva, whom you are seeing now, the 5th term MP, whatever she adored me with some this and that, is because of that widow Dhanabhakya of 29 years. I came to be a successful politician because of Devika Rani, my wife, who is no more. Now even now my daughters are supporting. Anything they only come to my head. So I realized that whenever I came to know about Bharathiyar's background and his life, how these women have dedicated. So she wrote the biography of him, she compiled all his books, and later, because she has to get her second daughter married because of lack of money, she sold the copyright to a stepbrother. She was compelled to. And even much worse is, in her deathbed, in her last days, she was in Kadai. She was crying to her relatives, who will educate these children? They are the granddaughters. So even at that time, their financial, economic condition, family condition was that. When she has become a grandmother also, she was worrying who will educate these children. And later, her daughter Tangammal, that was a very happy information I received. When she first visited Malaysia and Singapore, she was the person who drew the largest crowd next to Mahatma Gandhi. So people have a short memory, that is different, but they are just ungrateful. They don't celebrate people who deserve. They don't recognize who is qualified. They just run against someone who can do something to them, or someone who will give a threatening to them, either this way or that way. So everyone forgot about Bharathiyar. Even in his living days, he was condemned by the British. I said he is an optimistic, for the benefit of the other state colleagues who are here, friends. When the horses were riding upon the freedom fighters, kindly just imagine, the horses were riding on the bodies of the freedom fighters. He was coolly sitting in a Etayapuram tank, waiting God, and was writing, Aaduvome, Pallu Paaduvome, Ananda Sudantharam Adainduvittom. When the situation was so bad and so crucial, and British were shooting people like in everywhere, like in Jallianwala Bagh and other things, he was writing optimistic that we already achieved freedom. We are independent. How optimistic? What is optimism? It is not something which we get today will be better tomorrow. When there is nothing, we should say this will happen. They are scientists. They are foresighted leaders. They are great scholars and they are writers. So he was an optimistic writer. And he has lamented, Endru Thaniyum in the Sudandara Dagam, when this thirst of freedom will settle down. Whenever he has come across the imprisonment of VOC, Chidambaram, whose portrait I saw thanks to the Vice Chancellor. Many things happen. I had the privilege, and I have the privilege, when the nation celebrated its 25th year of independence, I was in the parliament. And later, Golden Jubilee, 60th year, now 75th year of adopting the constitution, I am there. When it celebrated, the 50th year, Golden Jubilee, not the Silver Jubilee, it was on August 14th of 1997. It was midnight in the Central Hall of the parliament, there was a great function organized. All the members of both the houses assembled there. The great historical central hall, which we don't have now, which is out of use. And that parliament was for unity, and this parliament is for division. It is not politics which I say, because central hall we used to gather, both the Lok Sabha MPs and the Rajya Sabha MPs, we used to sit together. But now they are elsewhere and we are elsewhere, we have no chance to come across. Even after 5 years, these newly elected MPs will go out without getting acquaintance of Tiruchi Siva, a long-term MP, or I would not come to know about someone who is closer to me. So in that historical central hall, there was a function, very brief. Lata Mangeshkar came and sang Vande Mataram, and Ustad Ali Khan was playing a sitar or something. And there were 2 recorded speeches. One, Mahatma Gandhi. On that day only I happened to hear his voice. Such a magical, magnetic, vibrant. Everyone know very well that only after Gandhi came, the movement of freedom took a step further and people got united. Till then, many were fighting. They were here, doing here and there, everyone having a view. But only after Gandhi entered, he brought the masses to the freedom movement because of his oratory skills. And I realized that having heard his voice, a magical voice. And next played Subhash Chandra Bose speech. These 2 were played. And then the function was over with the national anthem. Next day the parliament, after it assembled, there was a big, huge hue and cry. Many were shouting, you played yesterday Gandhi's speech, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, but not of Sardar Patel, who united this country. He was the unification person, but for him we cannot have this today's India. Blah, blah. So many, and everyone shouted, and the speaker very wisely intervened and said, I agree, Patel is also a very important leader. So also Tilagar, so also many others, Sarojini Naidu, Vijayalakshmi Pandit, he named many, but we didn't have time. Because of the paucity of time, we couldn't play all those things. Then I stood up. He said, I have already resolved the issue. I said, sir, please, when you listed a long list of leaders, you totally forgot the southern sides, V.O. Chidambaram, Bharathiyar and Subramania Siva. V.O. Siva was the only person who was pulling an oil grinding machine that in those days in the prison, and Subramania Siva came out with developing a leprosy. And that's why I said I appreciate ma'am for that. Many have ignored, many have forgotten the sacrifice of those people. It is not 1857, the first freedom, they called it as mutiny, Sipai mutiny. No, even before that, 1770s itself, Pulitavan in Tamilnadu. 1799, Katamaman was hanged. Later came Bharat Sagodar, then came Velunacha, then came Tipu Sultan. All these things. So many are hidden in the history, pages of history for many reasons. Genghis Khan is described as a very bad man of a dictatorship quality, he killed lakhs of people. But Alexander, they say Alexander the Great. What Alexander? He won the countries by giving bouquet like what man gave him. He also killed the people. He also used the sword. He travelled wide and he has killed much larger people than Genghis Khan. It is because those who wrote the history belong to the European side. They hailed Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan, a dictator, a man of a worse type. So also the southern side people were forgotten, but we have to thank that Bharathiyar has crossed all those barriers and now live forever everywhere. So when he developed a friendship with V.O. Chidambaram, and when he was imprisoned, when he heard that, he couldn't tolerate that. And that time he wrote this Indrithaniyam in the Sudhara. When this thirst of freedom will settle down. If if you hear those songs, you will be in tears. I can sing a song after my speech.
That sings very well. No?
Please.
I think I have to. Since I have mentioned that, I developed that feeling. Sing Song of Bharatiya. So he both lamented. He fought with Parashakti. Parashakti is the goddess. When his wife complained or when he came to know that there was no food to eat, he went to Parashakti and didn't say, please give me Parashakti food for my family. He said, I am a person born to revive the world. Don't make me to sing for just a loaf of bread. If you do so continuously, Parashakti, I warn you, I will become an atheist. So he even spoke to Parashakti as if she is a very close person. I will become an atheist if you continue to do so. I am a person of different character. I am born for something else. See, when I was in my college, I was walking with another person. I was about to cross the road. A bus was coming. I said I could cross the road. He just pulled my hands and said, you are not meant for this. I don't know how he told, why he told that. Now I realize, I don't go for such adventures or circus because we are meant for something else. So also, Bharatiyar went to the goddess and told, I am not meant for earning my writing to earn for my bread, for my stomach, for my family. Don't do that. Like that, he has fought with the Parashakti, he has cried to her, and all his kumi songs for women and children, so many things. So I think I can speak much about it. I think after this meeting, this will be a good start. You can have much more celebrations or occasions to speak about Bharatiyar, Bharatidasan, Thiru and all. You can have seminars, ma'am. She will be very glad to do that. So, my focus, I thought only when I was coming on the way to be only Chalama and Tangamal and Sakutala. But for these three women, we will not have Bharatiyar today. Imagine, once after he passed away, she could have earned her living by resorting to some of her relatives and would have brought up her children. But she thought, my husband is a different man. I know, I have heard him singing. He was bothered about the sugarcane workers in Fuji. He wrote about the French Revolution from here. Sorry, even Russian Revolution he has written. So, he was always an angry person, going here and there, bowing his head to none. I think there was even the movie which was prepared, screened on his life. We will screen one very important chapter of his life. Mahatma Gandhi has come to Tamilnadu. And having come to know that he is there, he goes and says, Mr. Gandhi, I am holding a public meeting tomorrow. It would be happy, I would be happy if you can preside over the meeting. He said, tomorrow it's not possible. Can you hold it tomorrow? Sorry, Mr. Gandhi, I cannot change my schedule. If you can come tomorrow, or else you please look after work. I will carry on my work. That was his mentality and his nature. So he lived like that till his last day. And his family lived with starvation. But later, I pay my respects to that great lady Chalama. That's why I repeatedly saying her name. That she never scorned her husband. She never chided him. She never was angry with him. But she realized the greatness in him. That's why she corrected all his writings, compiled it, and also wrote his biography. And those girls are, I think, the great-granddaughters are now somewhere, but not very remarkable.
She's in Chennai.
Chennai. One is in Chennai, one is in Canada, somewhere. But how many of us on his birthday go in search of them and greet, we already belong to that family, we are all very happy to have you here? No, we have got too many other very important business. Sitting before the TV or chatting or on our social media like that. So also after his demise, when the total world forgot about him, like when V.O. Chidambaram was released from the prison, he was the first to counter the British by way of starting a navigation company. Because East India Company entered India only as a merchant, not as a ruler. So he thought to strike them or to fight with them is the same manner. So he started a navigation company, and British got actually alarmed at what he did. For that, sedition case was filed against him. He was imprisoned for 2 life sentences. He suffered a lot, and when he came back, the localites have already sold out the ship to the British. And he was not received by anyone except one of his friends, that Subramanian Siva. Later, in the last days of V.O. Chidambaranath, whom we hail much, he is, I think he has crossed 150 years. He is 10 years older than Bharatiyar. He was an accountant in a grocery shop. We should feel ashamed how the nations have treated warriors, martyrs, patriots, and those who lived for us and sacrificed their own lives and their families. So he lived by writing Tirukural in various, writing the verse in another form, and he passed away being an accountant in a grocery. So also Bharatiyar died. Thanks to Chalama, Tangamal and Shakuntala, Bharatiyar is hailed and appreciated a lot. I would like to conclude with one. When Mr. Shivanshu spoke, I happen to recollect, just only noted, because I am not in the habit of writing and getting, I don't know, I told this afternoon when we were having tea at break, the house was adjourned. I am still in a very light mood. I have to go out and speak in JNU. And these colleagues of mine said, what is about you can speak? I said, that is different. But JNU, all reputed professors, everything will be. So also I didn't come prepared. Whatever I spoke here is now from my heart and my mind. Like that when he spoke, I recollected one thing. There was a terrorist attack in the parliament. Hope you, many of you remember, in the year 2001. Tomorrow is the day, December 13, 2001. I was then a member of parliament. I was in the central hall. When the terrorists were attacking and the security guards were fighting against them, I was hearing a lively exchange of bullets. You can see in movies. But exchange of bullets, the sound of bullets were lingering in our ears. Even now there are marks. But those security guards who staked their life, laid down their life and saved us, now they are removed from the parliament security and CSF has taken over. That's a sad story. After that, they have all been met with. All the terrorists were killed, and then it came to, but there was a silence which I have never come across in my life. All the ministers came and many others came. It is almost settled down. Now we just give way for the women first. Let the women members of parliament go home and then we can address. So everyone went and switch off that mic.
Switch off that mic.
Sushma Swaraj was then a minister. She said, I don't want to go. And she stayed back. And I was also there. At that time, only then the mobiles were in normal use. I was speaking to my leader and someone from a media just spoke to me as a friend. I was narrating him what all is happening. He immediately, without my put it on broadcast, and it was on live, and everyone came to know what is happening inside. That was first person to convey that we were all safe. Otherwise, rumors were spread that Vajpayee, Advani targeted, so many are killed and blah blah. So I was engaged in that. I also asked Sushma Swaraj, Somnath Chatterjee, Pranab Mukherjee to speak over the phone to our media. The next day, the parliament discussed why it happened, whether it is security lapse or any other reason. And of course, there was a discussion. And when she was speaking in Hindi, Sushma Swaraj. She was on the treasury bench side. Yes. No, Congress. She was on the opposition side. Something, yes. She was speaking. She said after the incident, of the terrorist attack, when everyone was put down, we were given an opportunity to go out, the women members of parliament. I declined for two reasons. One, I don't want to use my womanhood to save my life. I don't want to make use of that as a reason. Second, I saw DMK MP Tiruchi Siva in front of me, so I did. I also couldn't understand why. And everyone was looking at me, why she is mentioning your name? That too when the discussion is watched by all. She says two reasons. One is the first one, second she says, I just happened to see Tiruchi Siva, DMK MP in front of me, so I didn't go. Then she told, he taught me Tamil. And he has taught me whenever some discussions come up in the parliament, whenever I have asked, he has taught me Tirukkural and also Subramania Bharatiya. I recalled in the central hall when the terrorist attack happened, she recited in Tamil, Achamillai, Achamillai, Acham என்பதில்லையே, உச்சி மீது வானிடிந்து விழுகிற போதிலும் அச்சமில்லை. Everyone was surprised. Next day, Hindu put a separate column and said the North Indian Hindi MP reciting Subramania Bharatiya. So I was happy that how Bharatiya has influenced a woman like Sushma Swaraj. Whenever there was an agreement between her and myself that she will start teaching me Hindi and I will start teaching her Tamil. I succeeded, she failed. Because she had the inclination to learn, but I didn't have that for many reasons. So Bharatiya has reached not only the capital of India, across India, even as I told at my outset, abroad also. Such a great person. I request the Vice Chancellor and Dr. Thamotharan and Madam also to convene many such meetings, not only in Tamil, in others also there are many scholars. Wali has written a lyric in a movie, Noorand Kaalam Vazhga. Let's live for 100 years, that's a song. And in that there will be two lines. Ooranda Mannan Pugal Pole, Ulaganda Pulavan Tamil Pole. So the king ruled only the region where he was ruling, whereas the Tamil poet crossed the valley, he lived across the world. Like that, Bharatiya is now across the world. And to my really very, very great moment today that I am happy to be here in this great, reputed, famous JNU on the birthday of Mahakavi Bharathiyar. And those who have assembled here, how you have listened it, of course, really pleasing me that you have listened with interest, not that you have been called. I have never experienced that any in my meeting go out or come inside. Here also I experienced the same. Two special things I enjoyed today. One is I got my sugarless tea at the right time. I told her, in my 40 and odd years experience as a platform speaker, I'll be asking for a tea without sugar. They will bring a coffee without sugar. Then I'll say, I ask for tea. Then they will bring tea with sugar. I said without sugar. Then when they bring tea without sugar, they will call me, Tiruchi Siva will speak. So all these days I have spoken without tea, but she has given the tea at the right time. And I have spoken among a very elated audience. Scholars, professors, deans, students, research scholars, and many others. I thank immensely again, ma'am, for having given me this great opportunity. And sometimes many people, whenever something comes on their way, they miss it. I called some of my other colleagues also. Everyone said, I am going home, I have that work. Only Giri Rajan came with me, and he had the bed next to me. I I didn't compel everyone. I asked whether you would join with me to JNU. They said, no, I have some work. I am going home, I am tired. But he came. I should thank him also for that. No, he is my younger brother and my colleague. Now he is my colleague. And it's a great occasion. Thanks, ma'am, again. And
You promise, sir.
I told she has made it as a promise. And
I heard him sing Peace with Sheila. Very good.
I have sung with her.
With her. Oh, very good.
I'll sing one bar there. Okay. I don't drink water or anything whenever I speak, but now I have to sing. I first thought of Enruthaniyam in the Swandaradam, but now I thought something else would come. I can sing even Sinanjiri Kriya. Want that?
In the Tamil
Nenjil Uramum Endri.
Tamils then make a request, we only at your mercy.
You want Sinanjiri Kriya? Good. Fine. That's a great song. I can sing without the lyrics, but I want to be very careful. It's a very melodic piece. But that is a patriotic song, which I told Nenjil Urumindi, but this is good. Thank you. சின்னஞ்சிறு கிளியே கண்ணம்மா செல்வ களஞ்சியமே சின்னஞ்சிறு கிளியே கண்ணம்மா செல்வ களஞ்சியமே என்னை கலி தீர்த்தே உலகில் ஏற்றம் புரிய வந்தாய் சின்னஞ்சிறு கிளியே கண்ணம்மா செல்வ களஞ்சியமே பிள்ளை கனி அமுதே கண்ணம்மா பேசும் பொற்சித்திரமே பிள்ளை கனி அமுதே கண்ணம்மா பேசும் பொற்சித்திரமே அள்ளி அணைத்திடவே என் முன்னே அள்ளி அணைத்திடவே என் முன்னே ஆடி வரும் தேனே சின்னஞ்சிறு கிளியே கண்ணம்மா செல்வ களஞ்சியமே ஓடி வருகையிலே கண்ணம்மா உள்ளம் குளிருதடி ஓடி வருகையிலே கண்ணம்மா உள்ளம் குளிருதடி ஆடித் திரிதல் கண்டால் உனை போய் ஆவி தழுவுதடி உச்சிதனை முகந்தால் கர்வம் ஓங்கி வளருதடி உச்சிதனை முகந்தால் கர்வம் ஓங்கி வளருதடி மெச்சி உனை ஊரார் புகழ்ந்தால் மேனி சிலிர்க்குதடி சற்று உன்முகம் சிவந்தால் சற்று உன்முகம் சிவந்தால் மனது சஞ்சலமாகுதடி சற்று உன்முகம் சிவந்தால் மனது சஞ்சலமாகுதடி நெற்றி சுருங்க கண்டால் எனது நெஞ்சம் பதைக்குதடி கன்னத்தில் முத்தமிட்டால் கன்னத்தில் முத்தமிட்டால் உள்ளந்தான் கள்வேறி கொள்ளுதடி. கன்னத்தில் முத்தமிட்டால் உள்ளந்தான் கள்வேறி கொள்ளுதடி. உன்னை தழுவிடிலோ கண்ணம்மா உன்மத்தமாகுதடி. உன் கண்ணில் நீர் வழிந்தால் உன் கண்ணில் நீர் வழிந்தால் என் நெஞ்சில் முதிரம் கொட்டுதடி. உன் கண்ணில் நீர் வழிந்தால் என் நெஞ்சில் முதிரம் கொட்டுதடி. என் கண்ணில் பாவை என்றோ கண்ணம்மா என் கண்ணில் பாவை என்றோ கண்ணம்மா என் உயிர் நின்னதென்றோ என் உயிர் நின்னதென்றோ.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring address. Not only Bharati, especially three women, JNU and Tamil language, and also the song was really amazing, sir. Thank you so much.
I should add one thing.
Yes, sir.
That's like those three women. It's only because of this woman I have come.
Thank you, thank you. ஒரு மகிழ்ச்சியான செய்தியை தற்போது பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள கடமைப்பட்டுள்ளேன். எம் துறை எழுத்தாளர் ராஜகிருஷ்ணன் நூற்றாண்டை முன்னிட்டு எம் துறை 10 லட்சம் அறக்கட்டளை ஃபண்டை பெற்றுள்ளது. இதிலிருந்து மாதம் 4000 ரூபாய் தமிழ் பயிலும் MA மாணவர், அதாவது தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்படும் மாணவருக்கு வழங்கப்படும். அதில் முதலாவதாக எம் துறை மாணவர் திரு விக்னேஷ் அதற்காக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டுள்ளார். அதற்கான கடிதத்தை தற்போது மாண்புமை துணைவேந்தர் அவர்களை அன்புடன் நம் மாணவருக்கு வழங்க அன்புடன் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். ராஜகிருஷ்ணன் ராஜகிருஷ்ணனின் குடும்ப உறுப்பினரான ரோஹிணி முத்துசாமி தற்போது பணியில் உள்ளதால் அவரால் வர இயலவில்லை. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite our Chairperson, Professor Thamotharan, to give a brief note about this event.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். தமிழ்துறையைச் சேர்ந்த 2 ஆய்வாளர்கள் சிறப்பான பணி வாய்ப்பை பெற்றிருக்கின்றார்கள். தமிழ் பாரதன் அவர்கள் UPS வழியாக அந்தமான் கல்லூரியில் பணியாற்றுவதற்கான வாய்ப்பை பெற்றிருக்கின்றார். கமலக்கண்ணன் அவர்கள் SRM பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் பணியாற்றுவதற்கான வாய்ப்பை பெற்றிருக்கின்றார்கள். இவர்கள் இருவருமே ஏப்ரல் வரை எங்களுடைய அடுத்த நிகழ்ச்சி வரை இருப்பார்களா, அங்கே சென்று சேர்ந்துவிட்டார்கள் தெரியவில்லை. எனவே அம்மா அவர்களை அவரை பாராட்டி ஊக்கப்படுத்தி அனுப்புமாறு அன்போடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம்.
UPSCல செலக்ட் ஆயிருக்கார் சார். அந்தமான் நிக்கோபார் தமிழ் UPSல யூனியன் டெரிட்டரியில UPS டைரக்ட் இன்டர்வியூ சொல்றாங்க. டைரக்ட் இன்டர்வியூ குரூப் A தொல்காப்பியத்தை அரிஸ்டாட்டில் ஒப்பிட்டு ஆயிடுச்சு. அதுக்காக கிரேக்கம் போயிட்டு வந்திருக்காரு. நீங்க புத்தகத்தை எடுத்துட்டு வாங்க. இவர் வந்து SRM கிடைச்சாரு. அவ்வளவு போட்டிகளுக்கு இடையே இவர் எடுத்திருக்காரு. ஜார்ஜ் கார்டி இவர் தான் பண்ணியிருக்கிறாரு. தமிழ் பாரதம் வாங்க அவருடைய புத்தகத்தை அவர் கொடுக்குறாரு. லுபியான்ஸ்க்கு என்ன கொடுத்துட்டோம்.
Congratulations, Mr. T.K. Bharathan and Kamalakannan. Finally, I would like to invite Dr. N. Chandrasegaran, Assistant Professor, SCTS JNU, to deliver vote of thanks.
Welcome, Mahakavi. Good afternoon, everyone. Before we start this vote of thanks, I would like to say that there is a folk saying in Tamil, "Onnu vitta moonu jeikum." If first attempt fails, the second won't happen, but the third will be grand success. It happened yesterday to the second one, now the third one is grand success. That's why it's in a folk play, "Onnu vitta moonu jeikum" in Tamil. Thanks for this opportunity. Thus, we have arrived for the last portion of the Mahakavi Bharatiyar's celebration and the centenary celebration as well as Indian Language Day celebration. This function occurs simply and systematically just because of the able guidance of our Honorable Vice Chancellor Amma. For the language cause, particularly for Tamil cause, VC Amma is always supporting. Whatever the hectic schedule our Amma has, when it comes for our special center for Tamil studies, always gives time and space. Our center is VC Amma's pet center.
Madam is biased, yes.
No. It's a pet center. Pet center. Our center is Amma's pet center, which is being nurtured by her. Still now, today, VC Amma has delivered a pleasant presidential address for these all kind of generous doings on behalf of our Center for Special Center for Tamil Studies. We thank you, Amma. Thank you very much. Today we have the chief guest, Honorable Parliament Member Tiruchi Siva, for the keynote address. Honorable MP Siva, a voracious reader, is well known to all over Tamilnadu, not only as oratory speaker, and also used to give lecture on language and literature and history. Nowadays, you have witnessed now, as a faculty style. Today, we all have heard the sample one. Through his illustrative keynote address on and off Bharati, Honorable MP Siva proved how the in-depth reading on Bharati he has done. And also, he has compared Bharati's life with Periyar's movement, and also with Vivo Chidambaram Pillai, and also on his own family life. All are corroborated these things, which he got the influence of Bharati's life, and also about the Chellamas and Tangamas. It's a very wonderful reminiscence through him. For your kind-hearted keynote address, on behalf of our VC and university, and on behalf of our Center for Special Studies, we heartfelt gratitude. We record our heartfelt gratitude, sir. Anbimikka Nandri Ayya. Also, Professor Honorable Member Jiva joined with Honorable Member MP Rajan Avagal. We also extend our gratitude and thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Also, we have another internal guest, Professor Shoba Sivasankaran, Dean, School of Language, Literature and Culture Studies. Professor Shoba is always very supportive and used to guide us to smoothly function our newly established SCTS, Special Center for Tamil Studies. Also, we have IQAC Director there, Kumarasamy, Professor Kumarasamy. He always stand behind, not come forward, but like Shoba ma'am, Professor Kumarasamy also helping us. Thank you, sir. And today we have had some notes on Bharati and HMLA song through Shivanshu Vishwakarma, thank you very much. Without gathering guests, today's celebrative mode academic function can't get success. Today we have here many other faculties of not only from JNU and also from universities and its colleges all over Delhi. And we have another VC from pharmaceutics and research universities VC, Professor Ravishankran. Thank you, sir, for your coming. We have Tamil fraternity guests from the Delhi Tamil Sangam and from the other Tamil Sangams of Delhi here. In the same way, we have many scholars here and students here. Thanking by name everyone, it will be endless. Hence, on behalf of our VC Amma of JNU and on behalf of our Special Center for Tamil Studies, to extend our heartiest warm regards and gratitude all of you and all the deans and other center chairpersons. We extend our gratitude.
Sir, song பத்தி ஒன்னும் சொல்லல.
Sorry, Honorable MP's song was very, very excellent, sir. So,
Melodious.
Melodious, and you emotionally you have sung it. It's wonderful. The song was very, very nice with original, good content. Emotionally we have felt that. Thank you, sir. Last but not least, our scholars enthusiastically involve themselves for making the grand success of this event. Thank you all. அனைவருக்கும் பேரன்பு மிக்க நன்றி, வணக்கம். Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's time to conclude the program. I request you all to stand up for national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you all. High tea is waiting for us. I kindly request you all to have high tea.